Hello, everyone. My name is Jonathan Neville, and I'm here with TM Events, my, uh, I guess, my organizing group for Pokemon events, and located in Findlay and Toledo, um, Findlay and Toledo, Ohio. The stores I mainly do business with, you'll see in the scrolling logos in the bottom right-hand side of your screen down here with Postboard Gaming Postboard Gaming owner Gary Hummel in Findlay, Ohio, and you have uh, Julie and Daryl Dean that own the Toledo Game Room up in Toledo, Ohio. So if you're local, if you're in the area, do stop by and support these two amazing store owners. They're they're great. So that being said, I would like to go over um, some cards that are coming up in the Sword and Shield Pokemon TCG set. We've had a few weeks with the video games. I'm enjoying it so far. Absolutely addicted to raiding, and it looks like VGC, or the video game competitive scene, is going to get a huge boost from this game, which is amazing because the play Pokemon circuit for both card game and video game is such a great thing. Um, so, nonetheless, let's begin here. We're going to start with um, the the trainer cards and the special energy cards. I like to group those together just because um, they're they're basically cards that you attach to Pokemon or attach to the field that have a direct effect on the game. So, that being said, let's begin. So, I guess before we begin, in Japan, they seems like they split up what would be our Sun and Moon, or not Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield base sets into these V decks, starter set V decks, and the Sword and Shield um, actual Japanese sets. So I think we're just going to get a combination of these two products as our Sword and Shield base over here, uh, released over here in English. So that being said, let's start with the trainers. So let's go ahead and scroll down here. Um, let's see. So here are the trainers. Um, how I'm gonna do these videos are, uh, let me know if you like the format of these videos. If you don't, we'll change them for the future. But I'm going to basically tell you whether or not it's good in competitive TCG, um, whether it be standard, expanded, pre-release format, or whatever. So here we go. Evolution Instance. It says search your deck for an evolution Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Um, I guess before we even go on any further, these translations are by Pokebeach, Pokebeach.com. I'll post the links to both of these articles in the description. There's the title page. Um, Now these translations are not official, so once the cards are released in English, then that'll be the official translation until we receive any errata or any other instruction from the Pokemon Company International. So, Evolution Instance is search your deck for an evolution Pokemon, reveal it, and put it into your hand, shuffle your deck. Um, in all three formats, standard, expanded, and pre-release, this is a good card. Um, it's a consistency card. It's what we've needed in standard for a while to make evolution decks shine. And this comboed with another card coming up, Rare Candy, is going to make evolution decks shine for. And hopefully we get back to an evolution format rather than this big basics tag team format that we've had for the past couple months. So if you do pull any of these, if you do get these, keep these cards. Keep as many as you can until you are sick Sick of seeing them, basically. This is a good card. Hyper Potion. Discard 2 energy from one of your Pokemon. If you do, discard the 2 energy, heal 120 damage. So this is worded a little bit differently from something like Max Potion. Let's see if I have one over here somewhere. If not, it's no big deal. But Max Potion basically says heal all damage, then discard all energy attached to that Pokemon. So if you don't have any energy on the Pokemon that you're healing, you still get to heal. Hyper Potion is different. If this translation holds once it comes out in English, if you do not have 2 energy um, attached to 2 energy attached to your Pokemon, then you will not be able to heal the 120 damage. So in that case, I don't think this Hyper Potion will be used that much, unfortunately. Um, so Fishing Rod, shuffle up to 2 Pokemon and 2 basic energy cards from your discard pile into your deck. All right. This is something that Standard has missed ever since Rescue Stretcher rotated from format. Pokemon Recovery. So a lot of the reasons why basic Pokemon decks return or like dominate formats is just because they're super consistent. And if you knock out a basic Pokemon, not as many resources have been lost. Um, um, like you don't lose that much if one of your Pokemon gets knocked out if you run a basic deck. But when you run like an evolution deck, like let's say um, in the previous rotation there was oh heck even in standard like Malamar. If they knock out your Malamar, that Malamar is gone for the rest of the game. There are very few effects that are viable in standard that will let you reuse your Pokemon. So Fishing Rod is definitely going to be used in standard. I don't know if it's going to be a 4 of in every deck, but definitely at least a 1 or 2 of. So definitely get your play set of these, and we'll and one um, as the format evolves, then uh, hopefully this card sees a lot of play. Even in standard right now, Baby Blacephalon, even like the Pidgeotto version and then the Greens version, um, those those decks really miss Pokemon recursion because you have your 4 Blacephalon, a Victini Prism Star, and maybe a Blacephalon GX in the deck. This way you can get the extra Baby Blacephalon, or you can get your Pidgeotto back that got sniped, or maybe you had to, Mysterious Treasure away a Pokemon that you really didn't want to Mysterious Treasure away, and it's always good just to get this stuff back. Rotom Bike. Draw cards until you have 6 cards in your hand. Your turn ends. Now, this is going to be dependent on whether or not we get a rumored rule change. There's been a rumor going around whether or not we're going to lose the ability to play supporters on the first turn of the game. If that's the case, I can see Rotom Bike being played as a 1, 2, maybe 3 of, just to make sure that you do get that extra push to help set up. Um, like running stuff like quick ball that we're going to see later, or mysterious treasure, anything like that that discards cards from your hand. This is a good refresh. So if that rule does happen, definitely get a few of these, and I'm pretty sure they'll be seen play in a lot of decks. If not, I can see it being played in a lot of stall decks that really don't care about attacking. Um, so next up we have Giant Charm. Attach tool to one of your Pokemon. Yeah, plus 30 HP, no restrictions. Sweet. So if you have a spot for a tool in your deck, and you there are a couple other good tools that are going to come out in this set. At least appears to be coming out in this set. That this one may be one of the probably like your third choice maybe. Um, but it's not bad. I would get your play set and put it in your binder. You never know, it might come out and see some play. Next up, we have Air Balloon. Retreat cost is two colorless less. Get your play set and then get some more because I think this will be played as a 2 or 3 of in every deck that needs it. That can't play a skateboard or U-turn board. So right now, 2 and 3 retreat cost Pokemon are in a really weird spot. They really can't like retreat in the same turn and attach an energy, or just flat out retreat just because the skateboard and U-turn reduced by 1, and and it's just awkward for 2 and 3 retreat cost Pokemon to actually exist in the format. Now with Air Balloon, it's a little easier for 2 and 3 retreat cost Pokemon to exist. So I definitely see this being played. Lumberry, end of your turn, has any special conditions, remove them and discard. It's a full heal at the end of your turn. Um, Now, if there were any attacks that um, detriment yourself with status effects, like, oh, if you use this attack, you and your opponent's Pokemon are paralyzed or poisoned or whatever, then I can see this being played. Otherwise, I don't see this being played. People will just run Switch, or people will run like Mallow and Lana for a Switch, or even something like, uh, you know, yeah, Mallow Lana Switch itself, or like heck, even people might even play full heal because it happens that turn rather than waiting a turn. So I don't think Lumberry is going to be that good. Professor's Research, discard your hand, draw 7. This has historically been on a crazy card, um, like Professor Sycamore, and then before that Professor Juniper. Um, Whenever it's been in format, it's been a 3 to 4 of in the deck. Um, and I feel that this card is needed at this time just to make sure that the format doesn't uh, divulge into a bunch of control decks at this point. So do get your play set. Get 2 play sets if you plan on running 2 decks. Um, Beatty, uh, attach a basic energy card from your hand to one of your bench Pokemon. Now this card is really interesting. Um, it's energy acceleration for Pokemon for any type of Pokemon. So uh, knowing that there are certain Pokemon types like um, fighting dark, and heck even yeah, fighting in the dark for sure, that historically don't normally have acceleration in format. Those 2 types would really benefit from a card like this. And there is a Pokemon that was released in the last set, Cosmic Eclipse, Mimikyu, that has an attack that says if you discard a supporter from your hand, and then do the effect of the supporter. So I can see this being ran in that deck just to um, have some like artificial energy acceleration um, for dark and fighting decks. And if you watch the upcoming videos, or the dark and fighting video, you'll see that there are a few Pokemon that just need a little bit extra like oomph to actually uh, see some competitive play. So I expect to see BD in those decks. Let's put them up here. And then let's go down here. All right. And then Quick Ball. You must discard 1 card from your hand. If you do, search your deck for a basic Pokemon, reveal it, and then put it into your hand. This will probably be a 4 of in every deck. Um, Pokemon Search is very rare right now in the current standard, and this card is going to make basic and evolution decks stronger, which is good. Um, so yeah, Get as many as you can. You're probably going to run 4 of them in your deck. Rare candy. Choose one of your basic Pokemon in play. Okay, so rare candy, the text hasn't changed. It has a history of changing from base set to base set. Um, but if you don't have your play set of these, get a play set of these. You'll use it eventually. Metal Saucer, attach a metal energy from your discard pile to one of your bench metal Pokemon. Well, that's cool. So there recently there was an Aqua Patch that did the same thing for water, and then even before that there was Dark Patch, and I guess it did that for Dark as well. Um, when those were in format, people found a way to use them. So I would definitely get a playset and keep your playset of these um, just so you can, be prepared for the future. Because this just makes every metal Pokemon printed better. Citrus Berry, doesn't have a yeah, this Pokemon card has at least 3 damage counters, heal 30 damage. Um, just play Potion. Citrus Berry is interesting. The only way that this would be better than Potion would be if you damage yourself. Um, and it doesn't work if you knock yourself out. So like you'll see the Claydol coming up that does 120 damage to itself. Now, if you survive that 120 damage, then you would heal 30 of it off at the end of your turn, which would be immediately after you attack. But it's just run Potion. The use of this would be very narrow. Fine Ban. Uh, Attacks do 10 more damage to your opponent's active. Plus 10 damage for a tool is actually really good. Um, it's weaker than Muscle Band, which was plus 20 damage. It's weaker than Choice Band, which is plus 30 to EX and GX. But um, this can basically turn the math into your favor. Turn a 2-hit knockout into a 1-hit knockout. Maybe turn a 2-hit knockout with weakness into a 1-hit knockout with weakness. Definitely get your playset of these and hold on to them because they'll they'll be good. Lucky Egg, Pokemon Tool. If the Pokemon is knocked out by an attack, draw cards until you have 7. Okay, so this is a reprint of the old Lucky Egg, and yeah, cards like these are good in certain decks. Now, if you run Lily's Pokedoll, which is a 30 HP colorless Pokemon when it's in play, but a trainer when it's in your hand or in your deck, um, even though they don't take a prize card and they knock it out, you still get the effect of this. So if you run Lily's Pokedoll, I don't see why you wouldn't run maybe 1 or 2 of these in the deck to help do some extra draw consistency in the deck. So get a few of them. You don't probably have to get a full play set of them, but if you can, might as well hold on to them because they can only get better when more cards are printed. Team Yell Grunt. Put an energy from your opponent's Pokemon into their hand. This is a worse Team Flare Grunt from X and Y. That one said just discard an energy from your opponent's active. I guess this targets the bench. So there's so it's not a complete. There's some overlap, but it's not like a complete like downgrade from Team Flare Grunt. But I wouldn't worry about getting any of the Team Yell Grunts, at least for now. I don't expect them to get super expensive in the future either. So don't worry about don't worry about actively searching for them. Marini. Both players shuffle their hands in without looking and put them on the bottom of their decks. Then you draw 5. Your opponent draws 4. This card is nuts. I think this card is actually better than N because they put their hand on the bottom of the deck. So if there's enough cards in your opponent's deck, there's no way that they're going to draw the answer that they put in their hand the turn before. So sometimes you're going to see like player Volkner for like a custom catcher, and to have the custom catcher in their hand for the next turn. Now, if you play Marini, that custom catcher goes to the bottom of their deck, and there's no way that they can redraw it off of Marini unless they have less than 4 cards in their deck. So get 4 of these um, if you're going to run a deck. Get more than 4 if you're going to run more than one deck. This card is crazy, and I think it's probably the second strongest, if not the strongest supporter that was printed in this set. The other one being Professor's Research. And then we have a special energy, only one in the set, Aura Energy. When you attach this card from your hand to your Pokemon, discard a card from your hand. While in play, it's a Rainbow Energy. Sweet. So this card is really good. This could be used in Malamar decks to get energy into the discard. You know, cards that don't really care about having stuff in the discard. It can abuse stuff like discard a metal energy, right? And then metal saucer it to the bench. Like you can do that with this card. And um, it's another card that can thin your hand to draw more cards with Rotom Bike. So there's a lot of neat things you can do with this card, and hopefully it there's the right deck that is printed for it. I think there are a couple decks that can use it right now. Um, so so yeah. Um, so yeah, those or this special energy is a good special energy. Get a play set and keep it, and just wait for the time to play it. And with this like the V deck product, they have some trainers in them too. So let's take a look. Hop. Uh, it says draw 3 cards. So this effect has been printed consistently now for the past 2, 3 base sets. Yeah, because there was Charon, there was Tierno, and then there was Howl, and now Hop. And just draw 3 cards. So it may not be used competitively, but in a pre-release, it's super good. And like starter decks, it's super good. It's a good consistency card, and drawing 3 cards is just it's just good. The more of these that you have in your deck, like draw supporters, the more consistent your deck becomes. So that, but there's a line of diminishing returns which we can talk about in a deck building video. But we'll get to that. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. Next, we have Professor's Research. It's a non-hollow version of it. It looks like so. This is good. Get get these cards. If you don't get them, I'm going to be disappointed. I think a lot of decks starting out are going to run 4 of these. Same thing with Marini. I think decks are going to run 4 of these when they start out. BD, yeah, we've been over this. It's could be um, energy accelerations for certain decks that need that extra oomph to get going. I can see it being run 1 or 2, maybe 3 of in that deck. And it looks like there are no real new items yet. And then we have Pokekid. Search your deck. Oh, it's in a Pikachu suit. Search your deck for a Pokemon, put it in your hand, shuffle your deck. Um, if this was printed, if this was printed before, or if this was printed like in Cosmic Eclipse, or in uh, like Unified Minds or Unbroken Bonds, I can see it being played, maybe as a 1 or a 2 of, just for that Pokemon search, because we've been hurting for it so bad. However, since Quick Ball and Evolution Incense and stuff like that have been printed, this will not see play, unfortunately. If you get this in your pre-release kit, play it. Absolutely, it's good. It's good in pre-release format to pull out that specific Pokemon you need at that time. Rotom Bike, we've seen that. Giant Charm, we've seen that. We've seen that. All right, Switch reprint, that's always good. Switch is a great card. Potion reprint, Potion's an interesting card. Run this over Citrus Berry. Crushing Hammer, a card I hate the most in this game, but I know why it's there. Um, uh, Pokemon Catcher reprint. That's good. Um, Little fun fact: when Pokemon Catcher was first printed in black and white in the Noble Victories, no, Emerging Powers, there was no coin flip. It just said switch one of your Pokemon. This was a 22 to $35 uncommon when it was printed, which was nuts. Great Ball is always good. It was actually sees play. It's also play in Sun and Moon formats with when there were not really like that many good search options. We had Ultra Ball, we had Net Ball, or not Net Ball, but Nest Ball, but no real good way to like actually um, Ultra Ball's a good way, but no like I guess I don't want to call it free either because there's a chance of it failing. But this was kind of like a low risk, high reward card. Um, Playing it, if it doesn't hit, oh well. All you did was discard a card from your hand basically, and get to shuffle your deck. Um, Otherwise, it's not that crazy. Um, Energy Search. Right now we have Energy Spinner, which is basically Energy Search but better because it has the extra text. If you go second, search for three instead. So if Energy Spinner's in format, just play that over Energy Search. If it's not, then play Energy Search. Energy Switch. Move a basic energy from one of your Pokemon to another one of your Pokemon. This card's always seen play. We have a fire energy this time. I'm under the impression that you can only play, at least for my aesthetics of decks, you can only play Energy Switch if you're moving that energy. So I can use this one in a fire deck. There's a grass one, a water one, a lightning one. I don't think there's a metal or a dark one yet. So those decks, I won't be able to play Energy Switch in those. Energy Retrieval. This would be great in a Vikavolt deck because you get to pull the lightning and the grass energy out of. But that's just my aesthetics talking. But put two basic energy cards from your discard pile in your hand. It's good. There are a lot of welder decks right now that kind of missed this when it rotated. Baby Blacephalon's one of them. So they'll be happy seeing it come back. Pokegear 3.0. If you don't have these already, get them. Um, this is always good to search for supporters. It's a good consistency card. Same with Palpad. It puts supporters back into your deck. I personally don't run that many decks that run Palpad, just because the decks I run are normally pretty aggressive and they don't really care about the late game. They just want to win before you get to the late game. Citrus Berry, don't play that card, play Potion. Pokemon Center Lady is good. Heck, instead of Citrus Berry, play Pokemon Center Lady. It's like Lumberry and double Citrus Berry all mixed into one. And then Rare Candy. And plus, we got some new awesome energy designs. They're like little wisps. So I really like that. Awesome. So, so let's see here. To go through the cards that I think you should get a play set of, at least, we got Beatty. We got Professor Magnolia or Professor's Research. Definitely get those. Air Balloon, definitely get those. Giant Charm, uh, you can get them. I wouldn't rush out of the way to get them, but it's definitely something to get. Rotom Bike, depending on whether or not um, that rule change happens, will depend whether or not this will see play. What was this Fishing Rod? Um, Definitely get this if there's no other way to recycle Pokemon or to uh, to just like shuffle Pokemon back into your deck. I know there's Lana's Fishing Rod right now, but I think this one's better because you get two instead of one. But Lana also lets you get a tool, I believe. So it depends on the deck. So you have options, and options aren't a bad thing to have. Evolution Instance. I think this is one of the strongest trainers in the format. Just to pull out an evolution card out of your deck for no cost, for just running this card. So if you run evolutions in your deck, run this card. It's also good. All those cards that I just talked about are good in pre-releases too. And for the second set, Aura Energy, it's a good card. For pre-release, maybe not that important to get, so wouldn't worry too much about these in pre-releases. But in standard and expanded, these would see play. Marini, get 4 of these if you can. I feel like this card is going to be super expensive until they start printing them in theme decks. Um, so definitely get these. Hopefully there'll be like a league challenge or a league cup promo because that would be pretty sweet. Um, Lucky Egg, I can see this being really good in pre-releases, but pre-releases you tend to have very large hands, like large hand sizes, so maybe it won't be that effective. But in the right deck, I can see it working for a pre-release, and especially in like standard and expanded. If you run like Robo Sub or Lily's Clefairy Doll and stuff, or Lily's Polka Doll, um, it's just a boon to have. So it's a neat little combo. And then you got was it Fine Ban, which is plus 10 damage. It's good. Any damage modifiers for any type is good. It helps with math. So if you need the extra 10 damage, run it. If you don't. And then Metal Saucer, um, get 4 of these, maybe get 8. um, just hold on to them until the right metal deck comes around for you, and then run them in that metal deck. And then you got Rare Candy. If you don't have them already, get them. Um, if you already have them, don't worry about finding them. But this art is awesome. It looks really shiny. So I'm definitely gonna try to upgrade my art of these. And Quickball, this is the second strongest trainer in the format, behind Evolution Instance. Get 4 of these. If you run more decks, get 4 for each deck you plan on running. Just because searching your deck for a basic at the cost of 1 card out of your hand is really good. Um, so there's that. I want to thank you for watching, and do check out the other videos. I'm going to group Fire, Water, Grass, and Lightning Pokemon, fighting Psychic, Dark, and Steel, and then Fairy, Dragon, and Colorless Pokemon in videos. And I'm also going to talk about the Pokemon V and Pokemon V Max in a video. So thank you for watching. If you want to watch more videos, if you think I have some interesting ideas and stuff like that, don't hesitate to hit that subscribe button. And additionally, if you are from the Midwest area, close to Findlay, Ohio, or Toledo, Ohio, um, check check out the Pokemon Event Locator. Um, Come to League, come to our tournaments, come say hi, and we'll definitely hang out. Thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.